The Eternal Light. Chapter 1. The Arrival. In a remote corner of the world, there lay a village called Saint-Évène. Surrounded by lush forests and mountains, it seemed like a paradise, untouched by time. Clara and Louis, two young adventurers, arrived at the village one summer afternoon. They were drawn by stories of its enchanting beauty and the warmth of its inhabitants. As they entered the village, they were welcomed by friendly faces and the sweet scent of flowers blooming in the gardens. An elderly woman approached them and said, "Welcome to Saint-Évène. Here, we live in harmony with nature and each other. You will find peace here." Clara and Louis exchanged excited glances. They quickly settled into a cozy little inn where they were greeted with warmth and hospitality. The innkeeper, a jovial man named Pierre, shared stories of the village's traditions and the eternal light that protected them. Chapter 2. The Enchantment. Days passed, and Clara and Louis became enchanted by the village's charm. They explored every corner, from the picturesque meadows to the crystal-clear streams. One evening, as the sun set, they witnessed a breathtaking ceremony around the village's sacred well. Villagers gathered, holding hands, forming a circle around the well, and singing melodious tunes. "The eternal light of our village protects us and unites us," the village chief proclaimed. Clara felt a strange energy in the air, as if the light was a living entity watching over them. As the ceremony concluded, Clara felt a connection to the village she couldn't explain. It was as if the land itself was calling her. But amidst the festivities, a feeling of unease settled in her heart. Chapter 3. The Discovery. Curiosity led Clara and Louis to explore the well the next day. It was adorned with beautiful carvings, and the water glimmered with an otherworldly light. As Clara leaned closer to peer into the depths, she noticed a faint reflection of a woman in the water, her face distorted yet hauntingly beautiful. "Who are you?" Clara whispered, feeling an inexplicable pull toward the figure. "You must leave this place," the figure said, her voice echoing in Clara's mind. "The light is not what it seems." Startled, Clara stepped back, and Louis hurried to her side. "What happened?" he asked, concern etched on his face. "I saw someone in the well," Clara replied, shaken. "She warned me about the light." That night, Clara confided in Louis about her experience. "Do you think there's something sinister about this village?" she asked. Louis, trying to reassure her, said, "It's probably just our imaginations. The villagers seem friendly enough." Chapter 4. The Shadows. However, as days turned into weeks, Clara couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The villagers' smiles seemed forced, their laughter too loud. She noticed a pattern. Each time the sun set, the villagers gathered around the well, their faces illuminated by the warm glow. One evening, Clara decided to confront the village chief about the well. She felt it was time to unveil the truth. "Why do you hold these ceremonies every evening?" she asked. The chief's expression darkened. "The light must be renewed," he said cryptically. "It keeps us safe from the darkness beyond our village." But Clara sensed fear behind his words. That night, as she lay in bed, she heard whispers outside her window. Curiosity getting the better of her, she crept outside. She saw the villagers in a trance, swaying in rhythm to an unearthly melody. In the center stood the well, glowing brighter than ever. Clara felt a chill run down her spine. She realized the villagers were not merely celebrating, but were entrapped by the light. Chapter 5. The Encounter. The following day, Clara and Louis decided to investigate the origins of the light. They trekked into the surrounding forest, guided by an instinct that pulled them toward the heart of the woods. After hours of walking, they stumbled upon an ancient tree, its trunk twisted and gnarled. As they approached, Clara felt a familiar presence. "It's the woman from the well," she exclaimed. The ethereal figure emerged from the shadows, her expression solemn. "You must understand," she said. "The light of the village comes at a price. It binds the souls of those who stay here, granting them peace but imprisoning them forever." Clara felt a shiver of terror. "What can we do?" she pleaded. "You must leave before the next full moon," the woman warned. "Otherwise, you will become one with the light, just like the villagers." Chapter 6. The Escape. That night, Clara and Louis made a plan. They had to leave Saint-Évène before it was too late. Their hearts raced with the thought of freedom, but fear lingered in the air. As dawn approached, they quietly gathered their belongings. The villagers, unaware of their intentions, continued their rituals as if nothing was amiss. Clara and Louis slipped out of the inn, their breaths quickening with every step. But just as they reached the edge of the village, the sky darkened. Shadows enveloped them, and they heard the villagers' voices calling them back. "You cannot escape! You are part of us now!" they cried in unison. Panic surged through Clara. "Run!" she shouted to Louis. They sprinted into the forest, the echo of their pursuers growing louder behind them. The light of Saint-Évène flickered like a dying star, urging them to escape. Chapter 7. The Light of Morning. After what felt like an eternity, they reached a clearing just as the first rays of sunlight broke through the horizon. The warmth of the sun washed over them, a stark contrast to the cold grip of the shadows. "This is it," said Louis, looking at Clara with determination. "We can't look back." As they stepped into the light, Clara felt a wave of warmth envelop her. It was liberating, exhilarating. In that moment, the haunting whispers faded, and the darkness of Saint-Évène melted away. They turned back to look at the village, now a distant memory. "We did it," Clara whispered, tears of relief streaming down her face.